Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising. Today is a new day to start again. It is 8/9/2025. I know it's been a minute. On the real, I've been very sad. So I wrote out several videos over the course of the last 2 weeks, but it just didn't feel the same. And I've had some really cool things happening too. I struggle a little bit with how personal I want to get on these videos because, first of all, I feel like sometimes I might be putting out what my intentions are, and if there are negative forces out there against me, they could work against me in that way. So I've been actually told to be careful and don't tell people what you're doing. So I do think that that might be something I need to keep in check. But at the same time, you want to be personal on these videos so that you give some flavor to what it's all about. If you've never watched them, I haven't done one in a while anyways. I'm not a very relevant person, but I've been talking a lot about inner peace and finding ways through struggles. I've had some success with quitting doing things. I quit drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes, and I've recently quit drinking coffee for about a month now. So I've had some success in overcoming, but so I try to give a little bit of what I've learned from that. But really on these videos, when I first started doing them, it was the idea and the concept was new day to start. The song kind of talks a little bit about it. Staying in your moment. I feel like because of the devices, what was obvious to me was that everybody was not in their moments. One thing that these devices do is they give you like a portal to things that aren't yours. Really, it's outside of your awareness, and you don't have to include it into your life at all. But we have it and we use it. It is a tool. I definitely think we overuse it. It's like worse than overusing some of the most benign things that we have out there. It is what it is, though anything in excess is too much. I didn't want to get too long-winded. I was trying to stay on script. So, I think it's important. Part of why I was trying to talk about the new day to start was if you stay in your moment of your day, part of that is turning off your device and staying in your awareness. Because what I became attuned to was your awareness of what is current and evident in your moments, your current self-awareness is more mother-based. It is more of a earthly bound thing because that's where we're at in the earthly bound. But then there is also the light is what I would call it, is the best way for me to say it. This what comes, it was before the sun though. I think light is different than the sun. And light is what reveals shadows, and it's outside of the earthly realm. I think. Yes, it's outside of the earthly realm, but it's outside of the earth, but inside our realm maybe. I don't know that. I don't want to get off the rails. I guess that's where I try to bring people to though, and I think what's important and what we lose is a lot of right and left thinking is truly more masculine, feminine thinking. And if we figure out, and what's happened is we've had such a masculinized society. I used to fight against that because although I agreed a lot with the feminine movement, I knew that it was not true to form. It was not like an organic thing. And that's why I was adverse to it. Not because I'm a bigot. Well, probably some bigotry too. We've all had to learn. But I guess what I was going with is I think it actually truly did happen though, that we were masculinized through our language and through our religion purposefully. And I think it's a form of control. And what is really important to understand is, I think, the true origins of where a lot of these beliefs came from, and get to the core of that and simplify things, really. So I'm an advocate of alchemy, of trying to understand things more in the elements as opposed to the periodic table. I'm pretty wacky in my beliefs. I get deep into basically that we have no verifiable evidence for the atom, and it quantifies all the way up astrologically, if you want to get coy. So what I'm trying to do with my life now is live within this base of just nonsense to me, because none of it really even makes any sense. So the new day to start was like, I can't fix anything. All I can really do is try to practice what I preach, live in my moments. And my big draw was the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching is an ancient writing by Lao Tzu, and it really resonated with me in living your life basically in balance. It's hard to explain really in like a really small moment. In fact, according to the Tao Te Ching, in the very beginning of it, it says it can't be explained. So people get lost right there with the woo-wee stuff. The only thing I would reflect back to that is that the true essence of the world that we live in is there is more in between than there is actual. Like there's more in between whenever you look at things, even to the smallest scale. There's more space than there is substance. So however you want to take that. I guess I will get a little personal, because people have been invested in me personally. I've been enjoying interacting, is the best way I guess I could say it, with a nice lady that I really am kind of infatuated with. I'm crushing, but I am keeping it at bay and trying to just stay centered in what I'm doing, because just because I'm crushing doesn't mean that she's crushing. And I am just enjoying interacting, and I would just enjoy what I get right now. I'm happy with that. I'm content. It's just nice, almost nice having hope. So I have that going on. I got reconnected with an old golf buddy, so that could really get my game going, I think, in golf. I'm looking forward to that. I was recognized for my effort at work, personally, like in a private manner, and I thought that that was really cool. I have sold something 8 days in a row, so I have a little bit of a roll going at work. I also have an opportunity to sing. I have karaoke tonight, and then I've suddenly developed a couple friends. So I have this thing on the horizon where I'm going to do some singing. So I like that. I guess you could say that through all this, I've been just following the Tao, but I've been really sad. And that's really why I haven't been doing videos, is I just don't want to bring sadness to my videos. I do think I've done a lot of good work, regardless of what anyone else thinks of them. I think a lot of my videos were really good all the way through. And I'm not saying I'm coming to an end with this, but I have said pretty much everything I want to say. I thought maybe I should do like a concise, try to make it as concise as possible, like my full spiel. But so I think I'm going to do that. Today is Saturday. It's very early morning, August 9th, 2025. I've really paid absolutely no attention to what's going on outside of like my little bubble, really. I have no idea what's going on in the news. I know the NFL is ramping up. I have a buddy that wants me to get into the fantasy football again, and I just think I'm going to bow out. I really just don't want to get... I enjoyed during the the playoffs for the basketball NBA. I sound like an old man, for the thing that they dribble the ball with. The Pacers. I really enjoyed watching that. It was really disappointing at the end, which was a huge letdown that the kid got hurt like that. It was just tragic. But and I also really didn't like getting fed back into the you have to, once you start to take a little bit of the mainstream in, you start seeing the talking heads, and it's easy to get caught back into it because they know how to stir your passions, but whoever they is. But so I have no idea. I turned it off, and I really don't want to get back into it again. And I don't really like that side of me. That I don't really like that really strong, competitive guy. I don't like that guy anymore as much as I used to, anyways. So that brings it out of me. Um, I really want to enjoy doing yoga. I've been still doing the yoga, and I enjoy it. I'm gonna play some golf. I've got a way that I can play golf for basically no money, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And I have the opportunity to do some singing. The biggest thing I want to try to land on this video, and I've got 3 more pages, I'll try to push through. What you pay your attention to, I think, is what's very important. What do you pay your attention, and what is your intent? Like, why are you doing it? Why are you paying your attention to that? And that builds spiritual capital, is what I would call it. I think that good deeds that go unnoticed are the greatest deeds of all. Get a drink. I did write bigger. Sometimes when I feel like I'm getting really bold, I write bigger. So let's go back into it. Give it some credence. Good deeds that go unnoticed are the greatest deeds of all. I think I made that up. When in Rome, do as the Romans. I did not make that up. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. New York, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Kokomo, city of firsts. When I was a kid, my dad owned a golf course. And Indiana Jones, I remember watching that movie. And camcorders came out. And I got a camcorder for Christmas. And I decided I wanted to make a movie called Kokomo Clark, which was a spin-off of Indiana Jones. And I was serious. I was going to make a movie. Oh boy. I also was going to entrepreneur Strawberry Coke. I called them. I went through like the channels and got to somebody. I've done some really stupid things too. I tried to fight a food poisoning fight against Taco Bell. That was so stupid. I hate being poor. That's one thing I do hate. I hate not having enough money to be part of society. I hate being sad. And I hate hate. I hate all of that. I really just want to love. I think that tribal love, and I truly do believe that there is something to tribal love. I think it needs to be logic-based, balanced, mother and father working together with brother and sister, neighbor to friend. There is no real enemy but abundance, because you create too much. Let's end there. How about that? Now, I do want to do a big summarization, so I will try to do that. I think I can do that pretty easily. I know that I sound crazy, but if you give me a minute, I usually can concise it down to what I really think. But I truly do think that it has nothing to do with money, and it has nothing to do with the physical realm here, other than obviously what you're in it. It brings your struggles to you. But the thing is struggles, I've seen a lot. I'm not making anything new here, but struggles truly is what refines you. It refines you. It helps you realize that there's something beyond what you are. You are supposed to struggle because that's what helps push you into the right frame of mind, the right mindset, the right way to live, is to be grateful. That's what it comes down to, right? Is to be grateful for what you have and build on that. Build on that. And that's how you become great. So do great, be grateful. Hey, I got a video in anyways. I'm sorry for people that really got, I know there's maybe a couple that were liking every one of my videos, and I don't know how close they are. I'm not even sure who they are, honestly. One guy I've interacted with quite a bit on here. So I hope that this doesn't hurt if you become attached to what I try to do on a daily basis. But I'm going to try to do it again. It's just been very hard. It's hard to do this and then also live your life and then come back and have to show what you've been doing. And when you're not really producing anything and you're upset with yourself for not producing anything, it's hard to put that on camera, is really the gist of it. But I usually have a lot to say, so I'm just going to keep trying to keep moving forward with what I've been doing. I still like the idea of New Day to Start. I like the song. It's a little bit cheesy, but maybe I can refine the song. I don't know. But I'm going to keep moving forward. I do have a lot of positive things going on in my life. And I do think it's a good reflection of the Tao. And that's what I want to be, is a good reflection of this wisdom that I have found, because I think it's a more gratifying way to live. Do great. Be great. Pay attention to your intent.